We are not looking for money per se because we have funded most of the activities related to the National Sports System. What we are looking for and are interested in is to imprint in the consciousness of those who control a lot of financial resources that we now must begin to connect those resources with our people. We must begin to connect those resources with the young people of this country. We must also begin to realize that there's a lot of money that can be made in sports, but there's a gestation period. You have to look for these, catch them young, you've got to invest in them, you've got to train them before they begin to participate and win laurels and make money. So it's that incubation period, that understanding. That's what we are trying to, imprint in people's minds at this time. Certainly, right now I can't raise money until after elections, but we have plans and plans in the drawing board where we're looking at several transactions. Take agriculture for instance. We're working with the Central Bank of Nigeria using the central bank instruments for now to instigate, to stimulate certain transactions, be it cultivation of grains, processing, grains into feeds, into poultry, that whole chain. Then, and so once you do all of that, this is development capital. But once they become viable, then you're ready to pack them, package them and bring them to the markets and do some refinancing or scale what you have done. We've just realized that as government, you have to go through a learning phase. You have to make your mistakes before, because the markets don't really tolerate. They don't have too much patience for mistakes. So what we're doing in every area, whether it's in agriculture, whether it's in processing, whether it's in manufacturing or services, we are putting in a lot of the development funding we're getting from federal agencies, particularly central bank, in incubating a lot of businesses. And hopefully by the time we get our victory and we're settling down for the next term, we should be able to bring very credible products and credible transactions to the market. Also, as a government, we didn't borrow for the first 4 years, principally because the interest rates were very high. And I just, given my experience in the market, I just had to go for cheaper, longer-term development type financing from the World Bank, Central Bank, the CAs. And you could tell that with the current policy measures in place, interest rates are beginning to be a lot more affordable. And so we're doing all the groundwork now that, once we go through with the electioneering, there's so much we need to do in terms of infrastructure, in terms of education, in terms of production. We had wanted to take over AFUSE from the federal government, but the federal government is not handing over assets for now. So what we're doing is we're going into agreements with them to utilize those existing sporting infrastructure. There is the one in Benin. There's one in Benin, by the way. It's for indoor sports. We've gone into an agreement with the federal government. We're using that facility. We've refurbished it. We've upgraded it for the sports festival. For FUSI, we're doing the same thing. We're talking to the ministry, and we're going to be raising money to refurbish and improve the facilities and use it as a world-class training facility to develop athletes.